Okay, a few years ago, I was filming in the automotive world, and my favorite thing to do while doing that was to tell car enthusiasts that their favorite film, The Fast and the Furious, is not actually a car movie, but a romantic comedy. And they did not like that. But once you break it down and you remove the cars, the street races, and the FBI, what you're left with is one of the cleanest romantic comedy structures of the 2000s. You've got boy meets girl, boy gets girl, boy loses girl, boy gets girl. This isn't an action movie. It's a romantic comedy on NOS. Let's break that down. If you took the exact same emotional beats from The Fast and the Furious and replaced street racing with a bookstore, a coffee shop, or a diner, nobody would question it. The reason this movie worked, and the reason it launched one of the biggest franchises of all time, isn't because of the cars. It's because at its core is an airtight love story. So, let me break it down for you. I'll be using Syd Field's screenwriting paradigm formula, as well as the book 20 Master Plots and its chapter on a love story. Every romantic comedy starts with a meet cute. Something slightly awkward and charged. A collision that feels accidental but is inevitable. In Notting Hill, he spills orange juice, and You've Got Mail, they flirt anonymously while competing in real life. It's playful tension. Now look at this movie. Brian walks into Maya's cafe, orders tuna, no crust, tries to be charming, and because every good love story needs tension, she ignores him at first. That's flirtation disguised as annoyance. And notice, they didn't meet drifting around the streets of Tokyo. The cars are just a quirky backdrop. So Brian gets the girl, but again, we need conflict to keep this movie going. Romantic comedies don't just tell you two people are falling in love. They show you through shared experiences, and it can't just be simple. There must be obstacles in the way. Here, it's street races, a rat in the crew, and a mysterious foe. The racing isn't the plot. It's what side Brian is going to choose in the end. And romantic comedies run on archetypes. You have the outsider, the guarded love interest, the protective family, and the friend group that doesn't trust the new guy. Brian is the outsider. Maya is the guarded one. Dom is the overprotective brother who doesn't think you're good enough. That's not action movie logic. That's classic romantic comedy logic. Next, every good romantic comedy needs a logical and inevitable lie. In How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, it's a bet. When the truth comes out, it's not about the bet. It's about trust. But in this movie, the lie just happens to involve federal law enforcement. But emotionally, it's the same beat. She's not angry because he's a cop. She's angry because he wasn't honest. That's what fractures the relationship when Brian loses the girl. But here is where it gets really interesting. There are actually two love stories in this movie. The obvious one is Brian and Maya. The more powerful one is Brian and Dom. Brian is drawn to Dom long before he earns his respect. He studies him. He envies him. He wants to belong. In most romantic comedies, the main character falls for someone who represents a freer version of themselves. Dom represents that. And finally, every romantic comedy should end with a grand gesture. In Love Actually, it's cue cards. In Say Anything, it's the boombox. The gesture says, I'm choosing you. In this movie, Brian lets Dom go. That's the airport run. That's the confession in the rain. He chooses people over protocol, family over institution, connection over career. So yes, most car enthusiasts love The Fast and the Furious, and they hate when you call it a romantic comedy. But structurally, that's exactly what it is. It just smells like gasoline instead of orange juice. That's why there's been 9 more of these films and not 9 more Gone in 60 Seconds. This romantic comedy lives its life 1/4 mile at a time. There, I ruined it for you.